Okay, so the monthly Gacha PvP is finally here. But if you don't know, there's something called the Gacha Revenue Chart, which pretty much tells us the revenue of every single Gacha game out at the moment and gives us a good idea at how they're doing. Now, this releases every month at the first of whatever month it is, obviously this month being the 1st of August, so we're seeing all of the revenue from the month of July. As I said, this is a very good measure for how a Gacha game is doing, and a lot of people are interested in the bigger ones and how they're doing near the top spot. Obviously, we've got Zenless, which is a new game and hasn't been on the Gacha Revenue Chart previously, so it'd be interesting to see where they're at. And also, we've got other games like Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail, which have been battling on this Gacha chart for the past couple of months, which is just great to see. And also, I've made a few changes. If you see my last Gacha Revenue videos, I've actually combined the revenue across regions, because before we're looking at every single game split up by region, which was a little bit annoying and it just took way too long. But this, we can have a more concise and joint number between all the regions to see how each one of these games is doing as a whole. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it. And as always, go over to Gamer Subs and use my code KAZA, where there's a ton of really nice cups out at the moment. And I definitely suggest you go have a look, because you have some really nice designs, and also the flavors are great too. But yeah, that'll be down in the link below, and you can get 10% off by using my code KAZA. But let's get back into the video. So we are starting off at the bottom of this list. As I said, these are combined regions, although some of them, they are just like global on their own, or Japan on their own, or whatever, because they've only released in that region. But at the very bottom, we've got Magia Record, which is a Madoka Magica game, I'm pretty sure, and it is reached end of service, which is kind of unfortunate. They made 10,000 last month, and it seems like Arkland as well is down in the 10,000 thing. So maybe they're close to end of service too. And obviously this kind of half of Gacha games is close to end of service, which is kind of sad to see. But some of them are only just beginning, like Girls Frontline down here. Even though it says it's a combined region, I'm pretty sure it's not out globally yet. You can correct me about that. I don't think it's like fully released. But again, 258,000 is pretty good. And I'm not going to really talk about all of these Gacha games down here. I mean, they're not doing great. They're losing money. As you can see, all of this is red, which is kind of disappointing to see. Then we've got games like Limbus Company, which I know is pretty popular. It's staying at 400,000. Again, pretty decent. There's been no change there. We got up to games like Alchemy Stars, which is actually doing pretty good. They've had an increase of about 110,000, which is great. And obviously, I made a video talking about Zenless actually copying some of their character designs. So obviously, there are some aspects in the game that people really like. They've got Eversoul losing 100,000. Again, not great. Tower of Fantasy losing 110,000, which again, isn't great either. They have had some really interesting updates recently, but I feel like that just wasn't enough to get them the revenue. Maybe we'll see it improve next month, as there's even more updates that I saw like circulating on Twitter. So maybe Tower of Fantasy will gain a little bit of revenue. They are deciding to go down that route where they go for the more like horny aspect of it. Like they're making all their characters, you know, look that kind of way, so it entices more people. Obviously, we've seen that in the past with other games like Snowbreak and stuff. They make their characters more lewd to kind of bring more people in, which again is completely fine, and it seems like it's kind of working for Tower of Fantasy, seeing as they are pretty much at the same place where they were last month. There are games like Dislight and Final Fantasy. I mean, with some of these games, you know, a lot of us don't really care about. A lot of them are based in Japan, and some of them are not even based in the US or anything like that. But let's go all the way up to Brown Dust 2. Brown Dust 2 has actually lost revenue. They've gone from 3 million to 1.8 million. I have actually been playing a lot of that recently, especially with the new events going on. I thought they were really good, but I think it was just before July that the event came out, so I think that's why the revenue's so low. But again, it's been getting a lot of popularity recently. I've seen a lot of creators talking about it, so I'm super excited to see where that will go. Although they've gotten a loss this month, I'm sure if they bring out another really good update, it will go straight back up. And it'll get even more people talking about it, because they have some of the craziest animations out there. So definitely recommend going to give Brown Dust a try if you like that kind of thing. And again, it's doing pretty decently. And then we've got Persona 5, The Phantom X. This hasn't actually been released in the US, I don't think. I remember seeing Legion's Gaming talking about this, about like there's a Korean version and that you can actually get it translated if you did want to play it right now. But again, they haven't had like an official English release yet, which again is a little bit disappointing, but they're still making $1.8 million, which is insane. Obviously, this is a little bit lower to last month, which was 2.21. But I think with an English release, it will definitely skyrocket, as there is a lot of NA Persona fans. And I'm sure a lot of this revenue actually comes from NA Persona fans that are so dedicated that they actually decided to translate the game. Then we've got Honkai Impact 3rd still holding on, 2.1 million, which again is pretty decent, especially for a game that's been out for this long. They made 2.9 million last month, which obviously is a loss to their 2.1 million this time. But yeah, it's still pretty decent, and honestly, I don't think we're going to see much more from Honkai Impact 3rd. I don't think they're going to make some kind of, like, you know, big comeback and go straight to the top of the Gacha Revenue Chart. I think it's just going to slowly die off. And I think it's going to have good periods and bad periods whenever it comes to the revenue. We've got Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade losing a ton of money. They've gone from 9 million to 2.5 million. I'm pretty sure this was because it only recently released. I remember seeing it all over social media, a lot of the animations coming from the game, and people were just super excited for it, and I think that hype has kind of died off now. So yeah, they are losing a bit of money. We've got Punishing Grey Raven, which actually kind of surprised me, 2.9 million, which is absolutely amazing. I'm pretty sure they had something going on recently. So again, that kind of makes sense for why they've gone up so much. Obviously, they had around 1.8 million last month, and now they're up to 2.9 million. So that's almost over an increase of $1 million, which is absolutely insane, especially for Punishing Grey Raven. And I'm just super excited to see where this one goes, because a lot of people are sleeping on Punishing Grey Raven and like don't really know about it or don't really talk about it. The community just doesn't for some reason. But it seems like some people are finally picking it up. Azure Lane losing quite a bit of money too. They have had a few events that they are going to release though, so we should see this go back up. Again, nothing to be worried about. And then we've got Tears of Themis, which actually kind of surprised me as well. It went up by 1 million, which again, insane. Well, just over 1 million. And yeah, people don't really talk about Tears of Themis. It is a hoyoverse game, obviously full of dudes. So, you know, some people will like that. And yeah, I think it's definitely gone up in revenue. And that might be due to some of the success of other games like Light and Night and also Love and Deep Space. So yeah, it's kind of exciting to see this go up too. We've got games like AFK Journey falling off hard. They've got 5 million and they were at 8 million last month. That's like a fall off of like $3 million, which is kind of insane. Obviously, they had a lot of promotion from creators, as I talked about in previous videos, so they had a big up against a lot of other games. But again, 5 million isn't bad by any means. It just means that they're losing quite a lot of money since their release, which again, just kind of sucks to see, because they do have a very nice community. And then, as I talked about earlier, Snowbreak, it was at 3.45 million last month, and now it's at 6.9 million, which is, you know, nice. Yeah, it's just a great game overall. I've been trying it out recently. I mean, the gameplay itself isn't that great, but the characters and the character design is absolutely amazing. And as I said, they're going for that kind of, you know, lewd kind of side of the game, which again is absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of people are picking it up recently, especially with a few events going on. So it's good to see. And yeah, I'm going to continue playing Snowbreak, and I'm going to be interested in how it's going to do in the future. Then we've got Arc Knights heavily falling off. We got 11.1 million last month to 7.9 million this month. That is a ton of money gone. And yeah, it seems like they had some kind of event going on. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard in the community. And now it's just dropped off because it was near the top place a couple of months ago. We've got games like Epic 7 2 doing absolutely amazingly, going up by almost like $4 million, which is absolutely insane. They do have a event going on. Obviously, we're in the summertime now, so a lot of these games are going to have like summertime events going on, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, that revenue is looking absolutely amazing. And then we've got Solo Leveling Arise, which I talked about before. It's kind of lost quite a bit of money. It lost 9 million, so obviously it's 19 million last month and then 10 million now, which again isn't great to see, but I think 10 million is still pretty decent for Solo Leveling Arise. I don't think they've had any massive like updates recently, so that's probably why. Then we've got Blue Archive doing pretty good. We got Nikkei as well, 11 million to 16 million. Then we get into the final kind of top 10 area. So we've got Dragon Ball Legends doing amazingly, 19.8 million. Monster Strike, 22 million. Naruto Mobile actually losing a bit of money at 24 million. Obviously, this is a very like Japanese, Chinese game that everyone plays over there. Then kind of into the top 7 here, we've got Fate Grand Order absolutely killing it. They've almost made 10 million last month, which is absolutely insane. And this is due to a summer event. I know a lot of people playing Fate go pull on a lot of these banners because there's a lot of summer skins, a lot of summer like designed characters, which people really want, and that is why they're doing so good. And then we've got Wuthering Waves at 29.5 million, which is a big fall off. That is a massive fall off. They lost around about 17 million, which again isn't the end of the world. I think 29.5 million is still amazing for Wuthering Waves, especially for like, you know, what's going on. In the previous revenue chart, 46.3 million was actually due to Yinlin and Jinshi being on the same month, I'm pretty sure. So again, they had a double banner on that month, you know, which obviously makes more revenue. And this month they just made a little bit less because there was only one banner, but I still think that's pretty amazing. And hopefully we can see this go up with the addition of some other characters. Now, I don't think this will go up with the characters that we've got at the moment coming out, you know, the ones that were teased in the drip marketing. But if we see some really nice characters in the update afterwards, I definitely think that this can go up even further. And then we've got Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, which again, absolutely amazingly gone up. Like, what the hell? This is insane. They've gone up by around about 23 million, which is absolutely crazy. And obviously Dragon Ball Z is a massive brand. I've seen a lot of other gacha creators talking about this. Apparently it's a really good game. I'm not really interested in it, but it seems like a lot of people are really enjoying this, and that's why it takes the 5th spot. So it's gone up by 12 places, which is insane, and yeah, all around pretty good. And then we've got Honkai Star Rail, which actually lost a ton of money too. Again, it's lost about $60 million, which to be fair was expected. We had a little bit of a slow patch from Honkai Star Rail, and the previous updates were pretty big, especially with like stuff like Firefly. So again, Honkai Star Rail still doing pretty good. 35.5 million is nothing to, you know, scoff at. It's still a very good number. But again, it's nowhere near what we thought it was going to be. And I think with the newer updates coming out, especially with some of the new characters coming from the Lofu, I think that we're going to see this go straight back up and we're going to be fine. Then we got Genshin Impact actually coming out above Honkai Star Rail, which is kind of surprising. I know they had the big summer event, which is usually quite popular among fans. So again, maybe people are coming over for that. But again, I don't think they've had anything like especially that big that people could get that excited about. I think that it's just kind of made a little bit more than Honkai Star Rail just based off, you know, people playing the game. Usually we see Honkai Star Rail above Genshin Impact, but this time Genshin Impact are above, and it's almost like the old times whenever Impact used to sit right at the top, but not this time. In second place, we've got Love and Deep Space, which again, surprised me a ton. 3.8 million last month, now to 42.2 million. Now, they did have a new character, I think he's called Silas, is that his name? I think that was his name. He did come out last month, and I know he's been very popular. I've seen Hex and Cap talking about him quite a bit, and also some other creators. He's been a very popular character that has been, you know, majorly simped on. So again, the power of this game is absolutely incredible. And honestly, I think we could see this game set up here for even longer because I think it's actually found a really nice niche here. And then finally at number 1, which was to be expected, it's its debut time on the banner. It's Zenless Zero, which made $96 million, which is absolutely insane. Almost the same as Honkai Star Rail last month, which if you think about it, isn't that great. Because if you think Honkai Star Rail making 96 million, you know, last month on some normal banners and stuff like that, not a release, not anything like that, and Zenless Zero making 96 on release, I would expect it to do a little bit more, and I think the Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact did make more than Zenless Zero on their release, but still 96 million is amazing for Zenless Zero. It's still a massive profit and a success for Hoyoverse, and it's really good to see as I really do like the game. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait and see how it does in the future, in future months, whenever the whole like release honeymoon phase is finished and people actually realize what the game's about, and also, you know, complete some of the content so they have less to do and less to pull for. Obviously this number is going to go down, but I wonder if it's going to stay anywhere near this top spot or if it's going to fall even lower. I don't know, but again, this is because it's a release, so it's going to make a ton of money in the first month. And yeah, it's just super exciting to see this entire chart. But yeah, that's the entire Gacha Revenue Chart. Obviously, let me know down in the comments if there's anything you're confused about, and also let me know down in the comments, you know, what games you'd like to see and what games you thought didn't do as good. You know, maybe you thought Zenless Zero was going to do even better than it did, or maybe like Nikkei is way too low. I mean, even some of these really niche games, do you play any of these? I'm super interested because obviously there's a ton of gacha games and some of them don't get mentioned enough. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And obviously go over to Game Subs. As I said, use my code KAZO where you can get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. And yeah, that's about all I got for this video. Very surprising banner, and I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.